What is going on YouTube? Heading back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the S&P 500 if we have time. Specifically, today's video, we're going to continue where we left off yesterday, which was talking about the recent bottoms that we found in pretty much every cryptocurrency, discussing how these were pretty much the price floors on every crypto that we talk about. And if these critical support levels are broken, we're going to see the next couple of months look pretty detrimental and bearish for crypto, specifically XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. And if we see these mega whales actually start to dump, we're going to see all the cryptocurrencies follow through. All these mega like blue chip cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, if they start seeing volume leave the markets here, we're going to see prices with every cryptocurrency fall and continue to fall lower. As of right now, though, markets are all extremely undervalued, which would show extreme signs that these are the bottoms here, and we've been waiting patiently for a very long time, which we have to talk about, and these should be the lowest points. If these go lower, we're in for a pretty bumpy ride to the downside here. I also want to talk about an interesting article that came out. You can see here, this came out only a couple of hours ago, actually, or this morning, early this morning, I think 4 hours ago. It says Goldman Sachs sees 4 Fed interest rate hikes in 2022. This is not necessarily a good thing, and this is why I wanted to use the S&P 500 really quickly, because you can see, I believe right here is when the Federal Reserve in December, no, where's December 15th? Yeah, right here. December 15th, the Federal Reserve came out saying that they're going to start to use 3 interest rate hikes pretty much, and then immediately after that, for the next 3 days, we just stumbled down in the market here. And then after consolidation, the minutes came out in regards to the Federal Reserve and what they had planned for the future here, and we saw even more of a correction to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised if, because of this article coming out, that we might actually see, where is it? Right here, that we might actually see the market sink a little bit more today, which would be unfortunate, but still possible, because instead of there being 3 interest rate hikes, they're now expecting to see 4, which is not good. So we're going to be talking about that because that really affects everybody, whether you're into crypto or not. And also it will affect cryptocurrency, which is the unfortunate part here. So we do have to talk about this stuff happening. But with that being said, guys, I also want to talk about crypto trends later on in today's video. Hopefully you guys know what crypto trends is. It's actually a Google Chrome thing that you can literally just add. You can see right here, if I type in crypto, you can see how it always pops up though, but cryptotrends.io, you can actually add it to Chrome here. And it's basically an extension on Chrome that allows you to pretty much sort through and search all the trending updates and YouTube videos for cryptocurrency here, which is really cool. So it basically is a one-stop shop page that has all the information you would ever need in regards to crypto, which is really cool. So more information about this will be later on at the end of today's video. I've also linked them down in the description below if you'd like to check them out earlier. But with that being said, guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, first and foremost, I feel like I really want to talk about the Feds raising the interest rates. It's really quick, but I do think it's fairly important here. So hear me out, guys. Goldman Sachs sees 4 Fed interest rate hikes in 2022. The Federal Reserve most recent dot plot, which signals the central bank's outlook for the paths of interest rates, currently shows a median forecast for 3 rate hikes or 3 hikes in 2022. Through some market participations are expecting more. Goldman Sachs is out with a fresh research note indicating that Feds will raise rates 4 times this year, given rapid progress in the U.S. labor market and hawkish signals that signal faster normalization. So this is good and really bad for us in the same time. Obviously, increasing these interest rates will, in fact, lower the inflation rate that we have from 6.8% even lower, which is great. Now you'll get cheaper gas and you'll get, maybe we'll see Dollar Tree go back down to $1 instead of $1.25. I'm not so sure. But the other thing we have to consider too is when you start to increase interest rates or the interest rates for the rates for the, commercial banks, it is going to impact the way we actually get loans, if you know what I mean. When the Federal Reserve raises rates, what it's actually doing is it's raising the interest rate for commercial banks to borrow and trade money in regards to getting the reserve at the end of the day. They need that same reserve, so they end up borrowing money if they don't have the requirements to meet that reserve. And the Federal Reserve creates that interest rate where banks borrow money from other banks here. So with them raising that rate for them to borrow, the banks like Chase and Wells Fargo will then pass that on to to the consumer by raising credit card interest rates, by raising short-term loan interest rates, by raising car interest rates, as well as mortgage interest rates. So it's not directly impacted, but it is indirect, and it does have an indirect effect. And when you raise these rates, not only, and I'm going to put out a video later on, hopefully today, if not tomorrow, on what exactly is going on here, but when you raise those rates, what ends up happening is you see companies like big tech companies like Tesla, basically anything tech or high growth. So the higher performing ones, so Tesla, Nike, Adidas, those will all start to stumble because they have future outlooks in regards to their in regards to how much money they will make. They have future projections, and when higher interest rates come, their future projections get lower. So we start to see that dip off, and because some of those are major holders of cryptocurrency, and because crypto is higher risk, they tend to sell that off too, and we start to see prices in crypto dip as well. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. But you can see here too, this was the last thing to touch upon for those that are interested in is when are these rates going to happen? When could we potentially see things start to have problems within crypto? And you can see here it said that its rates as of the December 15th meeting will start 4 times. Oh, they changed it to 4 times. Expect the Fed rates to raise short-term rates 4 times in 2022, with the first increase in March. I thought it was always 3, but I guess they updated this article. They definitely edited this article recently so that they can include 4 instead of 3 here, which is crazy because now we're going to see 4 interest rate hikes in 2022. It's going to affect drastically prices of like tech companies and stuff. Regardless, I'm not too worried here. The next thing I want to show you guys is the crypto fear index, and this will lead us into the markets right now. You can see the fear and greed index on every crypto is extreme, or Bitcoin as a whole is extreme fear last month. Last week is fear, yesterday extreme fear, now is extreme fear. Everything is extreme fear in regards to the fact that we're at the bottom now. People are fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD. That's where we are. Everything is down here. You can see this has been like this every day for the past like 2-3 weeks that we've been looking at cryptocurrencies. Everything is down drastically. There's only maybe like 1 or 2, like Chainlink, which was up, which we discussed was at the top, but all the other cryptos are pretty much just consolidating or are down in regards to the week, 20%, 15%. It's pretty incredible to see that, to say the least. So when looking at these cryptos here, you can see what exactly has been happening. We've been in a steady decline since the start. Like the highest point, we're down 45% on XRP from the start here at $1.28. Basically, everything that I'm trying to say here is that prices are extremely undervalued in my opinion, and I would be extremely shocked if we decide to continue to dump lower. I mean, we have so many signs and signals that scream that the markets are good. For example, here, XRP on the relative strength indicator, clear lower high formation being set up right now. If this downtrend is broken, which should happen very soon, and I do believe is going to happen, we're going to start to see prices start to run back up. And I do strongly believe that we have found some sort of bottom. Obviously, we've had to tweak the charts substantially over the course of the past couple of weeks here because we've been in a very long-term bearish market here. Since the start on November 9th, it has been a total of 62 days. It's been over or about 2 months exactly of just sideways consolidation. People get very bored. I understand. It's been a bearish December and a bearish January here. But you can see we've had something similar. You know, we started at the top here. We've had, again, 80 days. You can see very similar, 80 days back in April to July of just bearish movements here. And we're having a very similar thing. Same amount. This was 60 days. Sorry, 60 days. This was 80 days here. We do get these cycles. These bearish cyclical cycles throughout the year. And now we're starting a new year. But this does happen, this consolidation. And at some point, we do find a bottom, which is what we're pretty much figuring that we're at currently. And once we find these bottoms, we do tend to typically see a rise back up. And you can see it happening here back in August here. So I'm also anticipating that we see the same thing happen now, as we do seem to find some sort of bottom, and it should signal a run back to the upside here. And you can see jumping to the weekly here, another reason why I'm a prime advocator that this should be the bottom is that we are completing our, you can see here our symmetrical triangle, our Elliott wave formation here. We had to tweak this slightly, I understand, but we are trending still within the weekly bottom support here. You can see the weekly average. This is critical. This is like the critical zone for XRP specifically. If we see prices, and you can see how I've adjusted this to make sense of this, but if we see prices break through this weekly support here, this weekly uptrend that's been holding the coin up for clearly over a year now. If we break through this, we're going to expect to see a pretty substantial run to the downside here. Immediately, I would say targets would be set closer to 52 cents, then down to 23 cents on XRP. And it's very possible, which is why I'm not buying in right this very second. The second I will buy in is with confirmation that we can close us above here with some signs of rising back to the upside here. If we start to close a daily, we close at like 70 cents, I believe, or we close at 65 cents, we're going to swing bearish. We're going to create a short position, which I do have on BitYard here for those that like to trade cryptocurrency, specifically XRP, but any altcoin that you want here. Download BitYard, or sorry, sign up for BitYard. I've linked them down in the description below. It's basically the number one place that I use, but that's out there that I, believe in, that is great for leverage trading cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. And what I end up doing, which is pretty crazy, is I just go over to market, and then I type in the amount that I want, and then I literally click sell short, and I'm in a short position gambling that the market's big bearish. So the second I see confirmation that this closes us on the daily below our moving average here, which would be around 65 cents. If we close closer to 65 cents on the daily or on the weekly here, that would be enough of a decision for me to say, okay, we're breaking bearish, time to short the market. We buy in with a short, and we make money on the markets dropping. Vice versa, we could do the same thing longing it if we see a break from our falling wedge patterns, which I'll show you in a second here. Now, the other cool thing is they also offer a demo account. You click, instead of live under assets, you click demo, and you can actually practice trading cryptocurrency, which is really cool. And lastly, if you guys do sign up in the link down in the description, click mystery box up here on this tab. You can actually earn free cryptocurrency for new users. So definitely make sure to check that out as well. Now, jumping back to XRP, what I mean by the falling wedge here is when I jump to the daily, you can see what's happening. So we have had these falling wedges. They do typically break bullish, not extremely bullish, but we do see usually a reversal in the pattern. So it's a continuous downtrend. And we've had this here, a continuous downtrend, which is a possibility of shorting. It's a little more tricky because you don't know when the break is going to happen here, but they do tend to break bullish. They break this resistance. Our downtrend tends to be broken. And once we can close above the downtrend, usually on the daily, then we can confirm, okay, time to buy in with expectations of a run, which is what happened, and that's what we made tons of money on, leveraging that. So the same exact pattern happens now. We're in a smaller downtrend here, but we're waiting, specifically for this downtrend to be broken. If this downtrend is broken and we close the daily just like this at 77 cents, we know we're going to be probably breaking bullish, and I'll buy in with the leverage to the upside with expectations of a target set back at 96 cents here. If we start to break this bottom support, we're going to have to, extend out the falling wedge just like this, and then expect to see prices do one of these, continuing like that, which is very possible. It would suck, but it is very possible. I don't think it's going to happen because, we're pretty much oversold on everything, including other cryptos, which we'll talk about. But if it does, and we close at 65 cents, which would be right here, literally the first drop, hitting this support here, we would then expect to see prices to continue to carry us lower, which would be unfortunate, but it is still a huge possibility. Now, moving on to the other cryptos, you can see here, we are now extremely oversold. On Ethereum, we now have found bottom support here. Check out the weekly quick, see what exactly we're dealing with here. Still fairly high up, actually, but you can see where this actually becomes some sort of pretty solid support level for Ethereum, and if broken, is going to send us down much, much, much lower. This is a clear support. You can see it right here. Like, we literally had prices ricochet us down, retest this. We've been retesting this for weeks at $630 or $3,000 to be exact, around that. And then we had a reversal off. So hopefully we can stay above this and ping up, because if we don't, big drop is going to come, and we're going right back down to our support, which would be right here at moving average. You can see how it kind of cuts across like that, closer to about 1600. I'll draw a horizontal line just so you guys understand what it is that I'm referring to. Right around here, you can see that's where I would expect to see the next drop go, right at bottom support. It'd be a big sell off here, which would be still a good opportunity to short on BitYard, but if we close below that, it's going to be game over. So I'd like to think that this is bottom here, and we need to consolidate and get back above here, and hopefully we can do that today. If we break through it, we close the daily below here, pretty significantly lower, then we can expect to see a big short, a big short play. Same thing with Bitcoin here. It's been days now of consolidation, another falling wedge, very similar to XRP, very similar double falling wedge here after seeing a small reversal. Bitcoin's doing the same thing, big falling wedge, reversal, big falling wedge, consistently heading lower. We are oversold once again. We are at a bottom. You can clearly see, if I jump to maybe the weekly, an easier way to view this. little less here, but you can see it clearly on the daily, I guess. So we'll leave it on the daily just so I can wrap up today's video. You can clearly see where bottom supports have been retested. It's so very obvious on the daily. 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and here we are with our 5th. So if things continue to play along like this, we should see this hopefully act as the bottom and do exactly what we've done in the past year, which was bouncing like that. Hopefully we see the same pattern happen now and bounce off that and head up higher. You can see how we do have also an uptrend drawn clearly here, which also signifies that it could be the bottom. Hopefully this acts as a very strong support. We use that to head back up. That's the ideal goal. That's what I'm expecting to see happen, but hopefully 40K is the lowest point these cryptos go to, and we could buy and expect to see a run. You can also see we're oversold on the daily. But once again, we close below this, we're going to see a big volume swing, probably back down to 30K. So get ready to short the crypto. But if we start to bring up, we'll buy in long. It's pretty much hit or miss. I know we're either breaking up or breaking down, but at least we'll be ready to get into that big volume wave, if that makes sense. Now, in regards to crypto trends, I wanted to show you something cool. So not only do they have all the different articles and YouTube videos that pop up here, but if you actually click on a crypto, so these are what's talked about too, which is really cool. So you can see if this article has these cryptos here, that's what they talk about. And this article has these here, that's what they talk about. So what's cool is if you actually click on one of these, it will sort all the different articles here. So you get show stories, add to watch list, which will add you to the watch list, which will show you, and add to top bar. But if I click show stories, it now searches and sorts all the different crypto trends articles crypto.com articles that pop up. So you can see here, everything is crypto.com. Very cool. If we do Cardano, it will sort all the Cardano ones, everything that talks about Cardano. Very cool. It's very awesome how it sorts like that. The other cool thing is if you click this over here, you can see your watch list here. You can add coins, which is really cool. You just search it up there. What you can also do is they have filters, which you can sort your videos, and they have tags, which is really cool to find things that are, relevant to what exactly you're talking about. We click on this. Let's see what happens. So you can follow this tag. You could do a search, and it will then show you everything relevant to Tesla. It's a very cool website. A very cool search extension. Definitely make sure to check it out. Link in the description, like I said, down below. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video. Definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.